Hi, this is Julie and welcome back to my channel. I kind of wanted to talk to you about cognitive distortions, and this is something that plays a part in depression and anxiety and a lot of different, mental issues or disorders, diagnosis, all those other things. Cognitive distortions are basically you thinking something that it's not. So let's just say that you like to go eat at a certain, burger place, and you go there frequently, right? And then one day you go there and eat and you get sick. So then now, even though you only went to this one location, you don't never, every time you see, just let's say the sign of the burger place, now you start feeling sick and you don't even want to go there. So someone asks you if you want to go eat there and you're like, no, because the last time I ate there, I got sick. And it may not even be the location that you got sick at or from. And we don't even know if that's where you got sick from. It could have been there, but you also could have picked it up from somewhere else and got sick as well. So now every time you see this sign or you think about this place, you connect you getting sick from eating at that one location with every location and with that brand, right? So that's a cognitive distortion. So you kind of like make it way bigger than what it is. Even though I went to this particular location and I may or may not have gotten sick here, but I definitely was sick after I ate, that this is what caused me to be sick. So now you never eat there again. And that's kind of how we are with experiences and with people. Say someone hurts you, and because that one person hurt you in a certain way, you kind of build up walls to not to think that when a person does something, the next person may try to do something, and because this other person hurts you, you're going to assume that this person is trying to do the same thing to you that the other person did to you. And that is a cognitive distortion. That's something that, your mind, it builds up these ideas from experiences, from things we see, the people in our lives, the things we do, the things we see in movies, on social media. All of these things play a role in how we view things and how we think about things. So what I wanted to do, and excuse me, I have my tablet here. So I wanted to talk to you about restructuring how you think, right? So basically you have an input that's like sight and sound and all these things, and it goes into your mind and you have an interpretation of that, and then you start to reason and analyze, and this is what creates those memories, right? So let's just say we go back to the same burger place, right? Different location, and you eat there and you're fine and you don't get sick. So now, does that change the way that you feel about the burger place? May you eat there again? Possibly, because you can get sick anywhere. You can get sick from eating at home. You can pick up something that makes you sick, and then you just associate when you get sick because you ate and then you got sick afterwards. It's like an incubation period. It takes time for symptoms to, appear. So you may have picked it up a couple of days ago, but it just so happened that when you ate, now you're sick, right? So if I go and I change that, now what you've kind of done in essence is reprogrammed your brain to know that, okay, well, it wasn't all of them, and it may not have even, you may then at that point say, okay, well, I'm going to stay away from that location. I can go eat at other ones, but I'm not going to go to that one anymore. So that's basically in essence what reframing your mind and cognitive restructuring is. You're basically telling your brain that it's okay. You're telling these thoughts, that you were thinking this, and that this was harmful, and I'm putting this in the context of, depression or suicidal thoughts or anger, all of these things. If the things that you're thinking are causing you to feel negative or react negatively, and they're not giving you a good quality of life, those things need to be changed. So, this is the reason why I feel that practicing self-awareness and how you feel in a situation, because is important, right? Because if I'm interacting with somebody, let's just say relationships, and it doesn't have to be romantic, it could be a friendship. But let's just say that, you meet a new person and you're interested in being friends or romantic with them, whatever it is. But you know how sometimes the things are going good and you might get a little scared and be like, this is too good to be true, or I don't want to get hurt. So you kind of start doing things to, self-sabotage the relationship, and maybe even unaware that you're doing that. But one thing to keep in mind as you go through this life is that you have no control over anyone. And oftentimes, I think if you be honest with yourself, we don't even have control over ourselves sometimes, over the thoughts that we have. And that's the reason why it's important for you to reframe and kind of line everything up. And it's not that your brain needs to be reprogrammed. It's just never been programmed to deal with things. Your brain is built to be efficient. It likes to do things in the quickest way possible. So if it encounters a situation and it looks like something previously, it's going to revert back to that old thing. And this might be a bad way of thinking, but that it's the quickest way to get there. So that's what your brain is going to do. You have to retrain your brain to say, no, we're not going to go that way. We're going to go this way. Once you do it enough, it's going to respond the correct way. And that doesn't mean that negative thoughts aren't going to pop in your head or that you're not going to struggle sometimes. It'll still come. But the difference now is, before, your brain just automatically reverted to the negative thing. Now it knows that there's something to move forward to that's positive, and you can be like, no, I'm not going to do that, or I'm not going to say this, or, it's easier for you to control that instead of your brain just running automatically and making decisions really without you having to do any work. Yes, it takes some work, but if you want to live a better quality of life, it's something that you have to be intentional about doing. And as I've said before in my previous videos, you have to make a determination that you matter, and that you know that your life and your mental health and your own well-being is worth fighting for. That I deserve to be happy. And you have to have that in your mind, that you deserve to be happy. So just moving forward, you have to be intentional every day. And this is the reason why I think journaling is helpful, because you can write down the things, and it doesn't take a long time. If you have time to sit and scroll through Instagram or be on Snapchat or all of these things that aren't feeding you positive thoughts or aren't adding any value to your life, you can take the time to sit and journal, because this is going to bring you, a better sense of well-being, a more peaceful life, because you have to have that in a day-to-day basis. You have to be able to function, because there is no version of this life that comes without pain or adversity. It's how you deal with it. And I say that having lived through some terrible things in my life, and for me to still believe in love and people and still want to be kind to people, it's not because I refuse to allow those things or those people that did things to me or the things that I've done, and that's another thing. If you've made mistakes in your life, it's okay. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's okay for you to do that. The problem comes in is when you don't acknowledge the mistakes or try to make amends with the people that you've hurt. And if you can't and that person's not there, then you need to make amends with yourself. The only thing you can do is move forward, because you can ensure that the next time you incur a situation like that where maybe you messed up, that you handle it properly. And that's how you make amends to yourself. You know, you make sure that you're treating people kindly, the same way that you want to be treated. And I think all of those things are important for your mental well-being. And as I said, I'm going to end the video here. And and remember, if you feel like if no one cares about you, I care. Go out and be a good person today and make someone smile.